Leeds, Harris at fullback, Rivett, Blackmore, Godden and Cummins, Powell and Sheridan. The forwards, Masella, Newton, Fleary, Morley, Farrell and Glanville. And on the substitutes bench, Holroyd, Matthew, St Hilaire and Hay. Coach is Graham Murray. Now St Helens, Aitchison at fullback, the two Smiths, Newlove and Sullivan, Martin and Long. Forwards, O'Neill, Cunningham, Goldspink, Joint and Perolini, and loose forward Sculthorpe. And waiting their chance, Hammond, Davidson, Matautia and Anderson, and the coach, Sean McRae.
Stuart Cummins, the coolest dude in the rugby league refereeing circles, and we'll just see how his pulse is racing here at Headingley. Well, this one sets the pulses racing. Leeds against Saints, Saints kick off. The prize is a place at Old Trafford next Saturday against the Wigan Warriors, and Leeds with the first use of the football. St Helens swarming downfield from their own kick-off, and Anthony Farrell struggles to his feet, plays the ball, and here comes Leeds, but here comes that St Helens defence, which they know must be tough early on here. Glanville will drive it in for the Leeds Rhinos. Terry Newton was the dummy half. Masella with the knee bandage. Good driving run from the Leeds prop forward to within 10 metres of the halfway line. Newton now with a scampering run to that halfway line.
Confident start there, and I'm sure that Graham Murray will be happy with this. But that's a good charge down. That'll be back to 6.
No, it's offside against the Leeds man. He was stood in an offside position when the kick came in.
Can't be put onside. He's already inside the 10.
Referee Stuart Cummings just explaining to Justin Harris that once it came off, I think it was Tommy Martin, then the man...
Oh, Saints haven't found touch with that penalty. What a mistake. Okay.
Well, that's ridiculous to start like that. That will not do anything for their nerves. But that defence will do quite a lot for the fella carrying the football, Adrian Morley.
Great tackle by Cunningham on Fleary.
A lot of doubt about the second row of Morley. Is he fully fit? Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Powell to Farrell. Anthony Farrell straightens it up. O'Neill is there, but Farrell gets rid of it to Harris. Lovely ball from Harris out wide to Godden. Godden saw a gap, and it was a good job that Damien Smith was there. Sean McRae chewing the gum, the tension on his face as well, as Sheridan finds Powell. Leeds rampant with Farrell up the middle. He gets to within 12 metres of the line. Newton to Sheridan. Sheridan on to Powell. He hangs on. Dabs the ball into the in-goal area. Could be a try. Could be a try for Leroy Rivett. He believes he scored. Stuart Cummins will hand it on to the video ref for clarification, but Leroy Rivett is in no doubts at all that he has got first blood here in this final to Leeds.
Beautiful kick by Darryl Powell. He was taken out after the kick. There's the impact. Well, it's hard to say whether he followed through, but I think that ball was well and truly away before the big hit came. This is it. Bang! And Tommy Martin did not miss his opposite number. Did Rivett get there? He certainly gets there first. Does he get it down? It's bobbling. It's no try for mine.
Well, that ball looks like it slipped through the fingers of Leroy Rivett.
Well, he was first there.
This is a massive call.
Well, I think he's lost it. He's had no control over that whatsoever. Well,
the ball's gone.
That's a shame. It's a beautiful kick through, and the winger timed his run to perfection, completely confused Paul Aitchison. Well, they're taking all the angles, pressure all around, including the video referee. They're doing right to make sure they get this right, but I think you'll find it'll have an NO in front of the TRY. This is where he just loses it. No control, over the top of the fingertips. And it goes away. You have to be deemed to have full control of ground in the football, and I don't think that Rivett has done that.
Well, this is a massive call for the video ref early. Oh, the try is given to Leeds. Leroy Rivett gets the benefit of the doubt of the video referee. What Sean McRae will think about that, and what the St Helens players and supporters will, I do not know, but Rivett gets the try.
Well, the video ref had so many angles to look at, but this has completely stunned me. It hasn't stunned the Leeds crowd. No way in the world Well, with all the slow motion replays, have I seen that Rivette gets full control of this? Not in a million years for mine, but it doesn't care what I think.
Well, I don't think he is terribly impressed with the decision either. He shook his head, and the conversation with his assistant, Mike Gregory, continues. But now Iestyn Harris has to settle his nerve, because all the controversy will rage around that in the days ahead. Right now it's all about this conversion attempt. Oh, and Harris, what form has Harris been in 98? The Rugby League Writers Player of the Year named this week, leads 6-0 up.
Quick play the ball, it leaves 4 defenders in that short area. They were always going to be in trouble. They tried to get across. Superb kick through by Powell. He took a big hit from Martin, but for mine, Leeds and Rivette are extremely fortunate to have been given this try. Controversial circumstances here at Headingley.
Julian O'Neill then leads with the golden start. 6 points ahead. What have St Helens got in response? Steve-o, that's the sort of decision that can make players' heads drop.
Well, we said before the kick-off that a lot of pressure on the referee Stuart Cummings is also that same pressure on the guy who was making the decision, the video referee, and I do not think we've heard the last of that. You saw the face on the Saints coach, Sean McRae. He was livid.
Well, I suppose it will either make the St Helens heads drop or will galvanise the spirit. We shall see. It's now with Martin, and left-footed he hammers the ball downfield. Harris just shuttles across. The ball does deceive the Leeds captain, but now he gets it, but the chase is good. Joint and Newlove leading the charge.
Good kick and chase there, but you must credit Leeds. Okay, it was controversial, a bit high from Perellini. It was controversial, that try, but you can't take anything away from the fact, you see Perellini going over the top of Rivette, the try scorer. But their build-up was quite superb. 5 quick play the balls, good position. You could see how Powell had positioned himself out wide, and it was a superb kick.
Yes, it was, but that doesn't mean that the ball doesn't have to be grounded. But in the video referee's view, it was, and that's why Leeds have a 6-point advantage. And this is Masella on the charge now.
It's important for Saints to just push that to one side now, get back into the swing of things. It is a big shock.
That was a great little run from Powell, a wonderful tackle too on him by, I think it was Julian O'Neill. But now Leeds. Ryan Sheridan busy at half-back, takes the tackle from Goldsby. Harris just looked then to see where he was in relation to the try line, dances away from one tackle, beautiful reverse pass, Powell again keeps it moving to Fleary, the angle is closed off for him. This is Morley, and Morley will attack again, losing the ball. It was on the last tackle, he had to try something, and Joint picks up, but gets a big hit from Farrell for his pains.
They're running hot at Leeds, they're keeping this ball alive. They're offloading in the tackle, and the defence is pretty solid. Leading the way yet again, Mark Glanville. There's the incident where they're trying to offload the football. It really is paying off for Leeds, but the ability to play the ball quickly. The Saints defence, they are very slow to get themselves sorted out, especially around the play the ball area.
Offloads 4-0 to the Leeds Rhinos, who are ahead by 6 points to 0 on the scoreboard. This now is Paul Newlove trying to get away from Blackmore. Blackmore does his job. Just delays for a second or two longer as well. Good run from Sculthorpe. Halted by the challenge from Rivette.
The big battle between the two Saints, Richie Blackmore and of course Paul Newlove.
The kick downfield from Tommy Martin. But the crowd here at the South Stand, I think they believe they saw a knee raised by Sculthorpe.
Well, it was just before that. And you could see how he brought the knee across. Didn't make contact. Perhaps just trying to clear the ruck so he could play the football. Well, plenty of action here, plenty of tension. We expected it.
Well, the Saints looking to emulate Canterbury down under, who went to the grand final there from 9th, and Featherstone from 4th in the Division 1 event, to make it all the way to Old Trafford. Well, Sean McRae and Mike Gregory knows that their effort tonight couldn't have got off to a worse start. 7.5 minutes gone. Controversy raging around Headingley.
Interested in say there a couple of moments ago, Tommy Martin put on a big hit on Euston Harris, the Leeds skipper. They realise this man is all danger. Harris, they cannot afford to give him room to move.
Well, this match coming at the end of Graham Murray's most crucial week in charge of the Leeds Rhinos as he mended his broken bodies out there. Blackmore, one of them, who attracts the attention here of three defenders. Quick play the ball, Newton on to Sheridan. Sheridan then to Harris, clips it over the top, Harris, and it bounces kindly for Aitchison. And the St Helens fullback is trapped by a good chase downfield led by Mark Glanville, another of the injury doubts for Leeds this week. But my word, the physios of Graham Murray have done an outstanding job in getting the team back to peak fitness for this. Sullivan offloads, that went backwards, it's play on. Cunningham was first to react. Oh, he tries to run all over Sheridan, and then he lost the ball.
He definitely lost it as well. Cunningham tried to utilise the arm to push off the would-be tackle, which is Sheridan, and lost control. This will be Leeds head and feed. It was a one-on-one situation.
So Leeds with the feet at the scrum. Sheridan gets the possession, finds Darryl Powell. Here now is Euston Harris. He cuts inside Martin. Beautiful sidestep, but well done. Paul Aitchison never played properly, but he was all over him. The St Helens defender. Leeds have another penalty, and this is in kicking range for Harris.
Interesting there that the referee Stuart Cummings didn't allow the advantage. You can see that Darryl Powell, well, he lost it completely. That's perhaps the reason why, because it was not a proper play the ball by Euston Harris. So therefore, he deemed it not being any advantage at all. But they will take the 2 points on offer, I am sure of that. At a 6-0 lead. These are two vital points early in any match, never mind a sudden death.
Don't think Sean McRae at this moment will be believing that the rub of the green is going St Helens' way. Leeds have completed a couple of big wins over the Saints in the weekly rounds. 31-18 at St Helens, 37-18 here, both a touch flattering. But with 10 minutes on the watch now, Leeds have the opportunity to build an 8-0 advantage, and that could be crucial in this eliminator. Harris gets another. 2 more points. 8-0. Leeds are ahead.
Crowd going ecstatic here, and why not? They really are up for this one, so are the players. It's been a wonderful start, albeit with a touch of lady luck on their side with that first try. But Euston Harris, no nerves there, punched that ball right through the uprights for a vital 2.
Well, it was 13-12 here to the Leeds Rhinos last year. 37-18 last month, as I say. Great start here for the Rhinos, and another penalty.
The man was taken out from the kickoff. Man not carrying the football.
This is in kicking range again.
Well spotted by the referee Stuart Cummings. It was a short kickoff. It's a ploy that they've utilised quite a lot this season, Leeds. And you'll see that as a big fella took it away, it was in back play out of your picture there that one of the Leeds players was taken well and truly out of the play. Yes, you can see it there.
I think it was Godden who took a tumble. Just trying to identify who the player was. Was it Tommy Martin or Damien Smith or Paul Sculthorpe?
Well, it's one of the Saints players anyway, Eddie. Either way, another opportunity for this fella.
Well, 2 from 2, and this really is like taking candies off a baby for Euston Harris. In fine form with the boot all year, and 2 more points here on offer. And crowd reaction will tell you, and the flags will confirm, and Ronnie's dance adds to the confirmation that Leeds have built a 10-0 lead.
Well, it certainly will be pleasing the Leeds coach, Graham Murray. And you can see there that, yes, it was Sculthorpe that took out the sender Godden, and it was well spotted by the official. And that, yet again, could be another vital penalty, another vital 2 points. But I was just saying, Graham Murray, the Leeds coach, if you want to start with a game plan, and after 12 minutes have 10 points on the board and a 10-point lead, you'll be quite happy.
Goldspink will drive it in again, but Masella and Darryl Powell, who has done a wonderful job for Leeds this year. Number 13 on his back, standoff half during this run in the playoffs. And doesn't he add something to the Leeds side? Perolini takes a tumble, challenge from Fleary and Masella again. Here now is Newlove, and they're watching him like a hawk. Newlove, though, gets the ball away to Long, and Long now tries to skip through the Leeds defence. A little bit of pace injected by Long, but Blackmore gets to him.
Good play there by Saints, instigated by the hooker Kieran Cunningham.
That could have been a penalty to St Helens because Long was being held down by Blackmore. Big kick out wide. Oh, they've made a meal of it. It's still loose, and this is going to be a St Helens try to Perolini. Saints have hit back. A huge bomb out wide, and the Leeds man missed it. Cummins, I think. And Perolini and a phalanx of St Helens players followed up, and Perolini touches down.
We said it was a problem for the Leeds side, and once again the high bomb. It could not be taken by Cummins. They made a real meal of it. Harrison Godden all involved there. What a shamozzle. Well, the rub of the green certainly come back. What on earth were they doing? Harrison Godden. Cummins made a meal of it to start with, but they didn't help matters when Godden and Harris just hang around. Were they onside? Here's a high shot. Yes, they were. You could just see the shadows out wide. What an awful mistake. Remember, the floodlights here at Headingley are the old style, high pylon right in the corner. Perolini won't mind. Leeds don't like it. The fans, that is, or the players. Saints are happy.
This is a big kick for Sean Long. This will confirm St Helens are back on track. He's missed it, and that will dent the confidence of the young man. Leeds 10, St Helens 4, and has Perolini scored a more vital try than that one? Maybe the one at London, Steve-O, in 96.
Well, it certainly will help matters. Interested to see. I could see the shadows out wide, and I think it's 50-50. Either way, it was a bad attempt by Cummins. And we keep saying it, but Godden and Harris made a real meal. They allowed the big fella, Perolini, to just twinkle toe through, sidestep it, popped up for him nicely. Saints are back in this game.
They are, just a quarter of an hour gone. 10 points to 4. We thought it would be pretty spectacular, and this has got all the makings of one of those classic Super League nights. Leroy Rivette is tackled by Newlove. It was high, was it? No, the referee just waves the St Helens defensive line back the 10 metres.
Try convincing Leroy Rivette. He went looking there for Newlove. Quite a bit of chopping going out there.
Masella, oh, beautiful break. He gives it inside to Sheridan, and Sheridan trying to turn Aitchison, but Aitchison and Sculthorpe got to the halfback and hold him down. Bit of a messing around there as Sheridan tried to get back to his feet, but play on, says the referee. This is Godden, and Godden is pulled down by a beautiful tackle from Chris Smith. That's the last, that's the turnover. Saints are back in possession.
Big gamble there by the right winger, Chris Smith. Came off the touchline. He allowed Francis Cummins the opportunity out wide. If it would not have been a great tackle, then the opportunity for Godden to offload was there.
Goldspink driving the ball up. Wigan bound, of course. What would it be like for him next Saturday night if it is Saints against Wigan, to be playing against his future employers? This is Long, who came from Wigan. Oh, and the ball bounced in front of Perolini, but he picked it up somehow, and there's space out wide here for Damien Smith. Back it goes into the arms of Chris Smith, and Chris Smith looking to unload, drops the pass, drops the ball, but Long has it.
It went backwards. It's A-OK.
Saints appealing and wanting 6 more, but the referee standing firm. Tommy Martin to his captain Joint. Joint just ankle tapped by Glanville, finished off then by Terry Newton. Cunningham to Sculthorpe, a dab over the top, looking for Chris Smith, but not even Chris Smith is that fast.
Really well and truly back into this game. Sculthorpe on the blind side. You can see how the ball is twisting backwards. He did not get the bounce he wanted. Either way, 2 meters away from the try line, it was a good option. Tense times for Sean McRae there. but at least he knows that they have bounced back.
Here's Darryl Powell again. Offloads to Harris, and there's a bit of space for Harris. He was collared, scruffed to the ground by Tommy Martin. And now St Helens are all offside.
This is the biggest problem for Saints. Had to play the ball. Leeds are playing this ball so quickly. And you can see that the referee had no alternative but to give that. Good move there by Blackmore. Went straight at the St Helens defenders. And Sean McRae, the Saints coach, has got to get the message out that they've got to tighten up in the first and second markers.
Masella having a big game already. The Leeds prop forward Martin Masella has started 14 of the last 15 at prop. What a bonus for Graham Murray that's been. And here's Morley. He gets away. First time from long. Has such strength, young Adrian Morley. Plays the ball to Powell. Leeds injecting pace again with Newton. Newton to within 3.5 metres of the line. St Helens again scragging to the floor. Harris gets away from one tackle. Flicks it back into the arms of Farrell, onto Glanville, back to Blackmore. Leeds have lost ground, but they're still in possession. And Blackmore, a wonderful run. Off one knee, up in the air. Powell. Terrific defoe, but the touch judges on. Damien Smith caught Powell very high. They pushed Leeds back 20 metres with that great defence, but then Damien Smith ruined it all with a high tackle.
But you can see Powell's head go well and truly back of the shoulders. Smith caught him fair and square, right in the face. Well, he'll be walking a thin line, and Damien Smith will be called to the official.
Stuart Cummings, remember, the man who sent Graham Bradley off in the very first playoff match. He then sent Paul Newlove off in that match. There has been much written and much said about that decision. Stuart Cummings this time allows Damien Smith to stay on the field.
But we'll sort him out first.
Iestyn Harris is elected to kick for goal, but meanwhile Darryl Powell will take some treatment from the physio.
Goes for two.
Well, you can see Powell grab the back of his neck, really created by the whiplash from the impact. Just a little bit of a wink there to his colleagues saying that he's fine, but Newton is also in a lot of trouble.
Yes, it's overtime here for Seamus McCallion, the Leeds physio. Lovely line in one of the papers today about Seamus McCallion. His wife is also a physio here because they've been working round the clock to get these players fit for this elimination final. They had trouble finding a babysitter. Well, the marketing manager's mum went down apparently and looked after the kids, while Seamus McCallion and his wife got on with the job of patching up these Leeds players.
I should leave my number. Well, another important attempt here from the Leeds skipper.
Yes, this kick from Harris, if he converts, and 3 from 3 so far, will stretch the Leeds advantage back to 8 midway through this first half. Didn't score last week, Iestyn Harris, first time since the World Club Championship against North Queensland last year that he didn't get on the mark, and he's missed with that one. So it stays at 10 points to 4, but importantly from Leeds' point of view, he got the ball dead, so the Rhinos will get the ball back from this 20-metre dropout.
Bit of a relief there by St Helens that Harris just off key with that one.
First miss tonight. Harris will run this ball back. Now it's with Anthony Farrell. Incidentally, with 20 minutes of this match to go, we will be asking you again for your votes for the man of the match, and then after the game we will be drawing out the name of the person who has won the VIP box at Old Trafford next Saturday night. And of course tonight's winner will go into that draw, which will be done by John Money. So if you've been a winner with us on Super League Live this year with our man of the match competition, stay tuned, because you could be on the way to a VIP box as well as everything else. Holroyd has come on for Terry Newton. That was his first touch of the ball. This now is Leeds on the charge again with Powell, and it's back to 0. It is.
Well, he tried to offload the ball there, and the officials deemed that St Helens man played in the ball.
I think he's right too. Sheridan to Fleary. Fleary will drive it in. Now this is another tester here of this St Helens defence. Just 2 tackles gone. Plenty of time for Leeds. It's with Harris. Good long ball. Glanville! What a try! Did he get it down? Did Glanville get it down? The referee says he did. Chris Smith tried all he knew to keep Glanville on his back, but the big loose forward had too much strength for the little St Helens winger, and although he's got blood coming from the nose, Glanville touches down for a priceless try.
All came about, of course, when the referee went to 6 yet again. Definitely came off a Saints hand, and you can see there Anthony Farrell trying to offload. That was on the last tackle. Leeds had opted for the power play, but what a superb pass here by Harris. Bang, straight out of the way, just went right through the tackle of Damien Smith. The Welsh wizard, long ball out wide, you can see that they just hesitated. Smith went far too high. Glanville says, get out of the way. No doubt about that. That's the reason why Cummings did not go to the video ref.
Well, a man who won a Premiership medal with Newcastle last year, he has put Leeds further down the road to Old Trafford with that try. And Harris now with a crowd hushed, waiting for this conversion attempt. Has he missed another? He has. Well, he started superbly. He's missed with his last 2. 14-4.
Well, you see the sliding defence pretty tight. You see Glanville out wide. Snappy pass, bang. Used a dummy runner, but Smith went far too high. Not a man that scores regular tries, but they won't come more important than that to the big Australian loose forward, Mark Glanville.
Well, scoring a try, but last year he won the Tackle of the Year award in Australia for one on Craig Field of Manly. Not so much a tackle there, but a tackle he had to ride to score that 4 points. 14-4 then Leeds ahead, 24 minutes gone.
Well, the combination of this very solid Leeds defence with the fact that Leeds are playing this ball ultra quick, running from the dummy half, they are getting over that advantage line with considerable ease. And it must be worrying not only the Saints players, but their coach, Sean McRae.
Sean McRae now, of course, with a 10-point deficit, looking down the barrels of his last match in charge at St Helens, but he hopes it will go on a little longer yet. Big poof downfield into open space, and Damien Smith's leading the St Helens charge, but the ball beats everybody. Martin trying to get the kicking game going for St Helens.
Tremendous kick right across the field there, gave himself plenty of time. That's the way to do it, in between the winger and the full-back. It was ideal. He knows that the kicking tactics tonight will be so important. Now they will try to rally their defence, try to force the mistake. Leeds head and feed.
Well, Leeds coming into this match after 2 bruising affairs against Halifax and Wigan. Matches really that mirror the Aussie image of playoff football. 13-6 against Halifax. 17-4 they lost at Wigan. And that's a penalty to St Helens. The ball not played properly by the Leeds man. Blackmore not impressed with the decision.
It's a right decision as well. You'll see that once it's tackled, you're supposed to play the ball where it is, not move forward and then try to play the ball. You have to play it where you were tackled.
Julian O'Neill, Blackmore in with a thunderous challenge on him. Now he's forming back in the defensive line. This is Goldspink, and they pick out Goldspink like 3 Exocet missiles. Cunningham one way, then the other, finds Sculthorpe. Sculthorpe has to take the tackle 10 metres from the Leeds try line.
Masella was not going to be fooled. He knew that the ball was coming back in the side for the loose forward.
Quick hands by St Helens. Perolini then back to Goldspink. Goldspink finds Newlove. There's a bit of space for Newlove. He's taking on Blackmore. And the Great Britain international came off second best then to the big Kiwi. Sullivan to Long. Long takes control again. That's the last tackle for St Helens. Bang in front of the Leeds post. Cunningham to Tommy Martin. Martin dabbed it over the top. Almost it came off. Oh, and St Bernard holds his head in his hands. Joint was so close, and so was Martin.
Superb chip back towards the post. And Chris Joint was well and truly onside. It was a planned move. They've done it quite a few times this season. But Martin's kick was superb. Leeds were expecting the kick out wide to the wings. They were caught napping there.
Leeds will build again then. Glanville, their try scorer just a few minutes ago. Harris. Still Harris. Just over the halfway line. Powell to Holroyd. Kick into the corner. Big chase here for Cummins. Smith is there as well, and Chris Smith taking no chances.
That's why the kick and chase is so important. Apply the pressure. And as Eddie said, Chris Smith was having none of this. Superb chip. Right the way into the in-goal area. And Smith said, let's get out of here. Cummings was really bearing down upon him. More pressure.
Here we go.
But the tactics from Leeds, well, it has been superb in the opening 28 minutes.
Martin with the goal line dropout. 2 bounces into the arms of Morley. Ooh, Perolini on Morley. The ground shuddered then. Here's Masella. Another good run from Masella. How good's this fella so far tonight?
Again, we see them go over the advantage line.
Holroyd to Harris. Harris, another angled run. He's involved in everything.
They're toying with this Saints defence. Saints are backing off. They're not moving forward.
Anthony Farrell. O'Neill and Goldspink getting to him. Sheridan will come down the short side with Harris. Blackmore. Blackmore stands, gets the pass away. Rivette. Knock on. Saints have it back anyway.
Well, a golden opportunity missed there. Rivette just a little inch of a knock on there, but good work yet again by Blackmore. It was backwards. There was a knock on.
Just the tiniest one.
But look at this Leeds defence. They've got their sights on Old Trafford. Still plenty of time to go, though.
Yes, they want another crack at Wigan. It's 2-1 in the series to Leeds. And the big one next Saturday. But St Helens want to be there as well.
Superb offload by Kieran Cunningham then. Goldspink nearly through. Took a wonderful tackle
what a tackle from
Holroyd.
Glanville then. Tackle from Glanville on Cunningham stopped him dead in his tracks. Long, angled kick again.
Everyone else is okay. Paul, you looks up. Everyone else okay.
Harris collects it. And Harris comes away from Newlove, then from Joint, and still, despite the attentions of Martin, flicks the pass to Blackmore. Blackmore with the strength to shrug off O'Neill. And O'Neill comes back for a second helping and gets him this time.
Wonderful attack, great defence also, but what a superb pass yet again from Justin Harris.
Leeds on halfway, play the ball to Sheridan. This now is Farrell. And Farrell gets another priceless 10 metres for the Leeds Rhinos.
The beauty of this running from the dummy half, playing the ball quickly, it makes sure that the St Helens defence will tire. They're having to work overtime in that second defensive line.
That was a great tackle from Long on Morley, but Leeds are still coming through with Powell to within 18 metres of the line. Powell, quick play the ball to Sheridan, and Sheridan will try and take them on up the middle. Sheridan stands, Powell is there, and Powell just lost his footing and was so close to a try. Sheridan spins the ball into the arms of Harris. Out wide, Saints are stretched. Cummins!
He blew it!
Held up short.
Why didn't we go on the outside in the first place? It was a superb pass from Harris. I can't believe that Cummins stepped as soon as he got the football. The overlap was there. He blew it big time.
Well, they had the overlap. Harris saw it, fired the pass out wide, and the opportunity is gone. But look at this terrier-like defence from Leeds. Do they want Old Trafford or what?
Look at the pass out wide. I just cannot believe that he stepped back inside. Smith was caught cold.
Knock on. The pressure of this elimination final is there for all to see. It was first knock on against Sullivan.
Lost control of it.
To Leeds.
Definitely lost control, even by the fact that Brad Gordon, it hit his body, bounced through. It's a correct decision. More pressure. Can they hold out, Saints?
Powell to Harris again. He gets away from Martin, he gets away from Aitchison, joint and Sculthorpe. Harris out wide again to Francis Cummins. And Cummins, Leeds' top scorer in the Super League, is tackled high again. It's Damien Smith once more, is it? Or was it long this time?
They both went far too high, both attacked the head. Frustration. There you see Long's hand was already in the face. No swinging arm, but Damien Smith, well, that's a second occasion.
But it is, he's walking a very thin line now, Damien Smith. Referee spoke to him for the second time about a high shot in the opening 32.5 minutes.
Well, to be fair, the same official got criticised for taking matters into that game when Newlove got sent off. Of course, Bradley.
Kieran Cunningham receiving treatment. It would be a bitter blow if the Saints lost him. But another penalty and another opportunity here for Iestyn Harris. 3 out of 3 early, but he's missed the last 2. He's got his sights back this time. Iestyn Harris kicks Leeds into a 16-4 advantage. 2 converted tries then is the gap between the sides. We're approaching half-time.
Job well done as well by the Leeds Rhinos. They really have taken control of this game. They're bruising this St Helens side out of the match. And I think that St Helens, especially in the forwards, they realise they have got to step up a gear. They've got to try to stop the on-rushing Leeds forwards. They are taking so much advantage at that play the ball.
6 minutes to half-time. Shades here of 1995 when Leeds won a Premiership semi-final in those days, which took them on to Old Trafford. There they met Wigan. I won't bore the Leeds supporters and the viewers with the statistic of what happened the following week at Old Trafford, but it wasn't Leeds Day, let's say that. This is Davidson for St Helens, and these two sides, hammer and tongs, going for the grand final, which you can see next Saturday, 5:30, Sky Sports 1. The game, of course, as we've been telling you all year, kicks off at 6:30, and that's the information line number at Super League Europe's headquarters, open for business. First thing tomorrow, 0113 234 4455. Any information about that grand final?
Not a bad option by the halfback Sean Long, but whilst Long was kicking the ball downfield, there was the limp inside of Kieran Cunningham. He really is not with it at the moment. He's suffering out there. Could be a leg injury. He does not look right at the moment.
Rivett takes it up bravely. Parolini got to him. Leeds, every time they have the football in hand, they try and inject some pace and some power with the forwards. Masella's still not tackled. Maybe he is. He surrendered himself there, just played the ball. Glanville on the burst.
Well, there you
tackled by Parolini.
There you see the Leeds, the Saints defence. They're hanging back.
Little kick over the top from Holroyd, but well read by Martin, who was then clattered by Farrell. There, that's the flop that they've got Farrell for, and what's more, he's hurt Powell.
He came in very late, didn't he? Anthony Farrell. Well, what a golden opportunity has been offered to Saints at 16-4.
Cunningham's gone. He is replaced by Carl Hammond. That's a huge blow to St Helens, and who knows, it could be a huge blow to Great Britain with the Test series looming. Sculthorpe almost through, hauled down by Morley. Hammond straight into the action, dummy half. Here's Chris Joint. St Helens now looking to up the pace as we approach half-time. They're on the attack. Hammond dummy half again. Martin stabs it over the top. Was he instructed by Masella? No, says referee Stuart Cummins. Here's Harris.
Big hit there by Smith, it had to be. Well, it was difficult to find out whether Martin just actually run into the player. Remember, the defender doesn't have to move. He can stand his ground as long as he does not move towards the man who's just kicked the football. He's okay.
Glanville slips the pass.
Forward pass,
This
surely.
is Cummins. Cummins gets the 4. Stuart Cummins, the referee, watched and points, and Francis Cummins gets the try. Well, he missed one earlier, but he didn't miss that. He was onto that pass in a flash, and Cummins gets over for another 4 points for Leeds.
Well, it all came about with Martin trying to get over the top, and you could see there that Morley didn't have to move. He just stood, Marcella, he stood his ground, and then the ball went across, but I think it may have been a bit forward this. Oh, that looked forward. They've got away with it yet again. A big cheer from the crowd underneath us here. And not surprisingly, good half break by the loose forward Mark Glanville. But there has to be some doubt. There'll be no doubt about the try. They cannot go to it. But you'll see on this angle, that was forward by half a metre. Cummins definitely had got away. He just reached out in front. He won't care. Neither will the Leeds fans or the players.
Justin Harris then. To add, I suppose, if you're a St Helens supporter, insult to injury. That was the last thing that St Helens wanted right before the half-time siren. But Leeds streak into a 22 points to 4 advantage here at Headingley.
Let's watch it now from the high shot. Perhaps we'll see it. And that's forward.
But let's emphasise, Steve-O, the referee cannot ask the video ref to adjudicate on possible forward passes. That is down to the naked eye of touch judge and referee, and they missed it.
That's right. And to his credit, Cummings looked towards that left touch judge.
He lost that, Perolini.
Well, he's going from bad to worse at 22-4. Lose the football in your own goal area. Well, there was more than one man there, and I think there was a few arms in there.
Oh, someone said something to the referee, and he's given now a penalty to Leeds. Well,
Yeah, it's a penalty.
it's a penalty,
Yeah.
and I don't think Sean McRae is terribly impressed
Try Graham, I
with
know.
the fact that somebody has said something out of turn to match referee Stuart Cummings, and that indiscipline could well cost St Helens another 2 points. From this range, Harris, well, you'd put your mortgage on him. He's been at the centre of some controversy in this playoff series, hasn't he, Stuart Cummings?
Sure has. But the first one, the Rivette try, Stuart Cummings had nothing to do with that. That was a video referee. And to be fair to the official, he did look for advice from the touch judge. Touch judge says it was A-OK. And as Eddie mentioned, he has to be guided from it. The referees, of course, they're back already the 10 metres away from the attacking side, so he couldn't see clearly.
So Harris, with this penalty attempt, just about bang in front. As I say, you'd put your house on Justin Harris getting this. And he's got the 2 points. Well, 24 points to 4 at half-time. There's the siren. A very, very productive 40 minutes for the Leeds Rhinos. And